Yeah.
And
So,
sound is live.
hello and
Hello,
welcome.
everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. You are watching Blood on the Streets, a 5th edition Vampire the Masquerade campaign set 2 years after the fall of London. The Coterie is played by these wonderful nerds here, and I'm going to hot potato it to Shadows because I can.
We have an order and everything.
I know.
I'm just gonna
I-
potato it to Gene so that the order can be maintained.
Yeah, mutiny, let's go. So, hi everyone, I'm Jen. Jenny Artery is over on the internet. Yeah, I'm playing the lovely and terrible Jean Morse. Stay away from my girlfriend. Over to Ryan.
Ryan, are you muted?
No, I'm not muted. I was just
Pausing for dramatic effect.
Yes. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm here. I play Joey, the perfectly normal toreador that everyone loves and trusts.
Yes, that is precisely true. That is not at all a fabrication.
Why, you don't trust the toreador talk of the group? Why don't we get our friend Lockhart's true feelings and introduction?
Hi, I'm the lazy gerbil. I play Timothy Lockhart. Hart, the Ventru who doesn't trust anyone in this party except Lauren.
He trusts Lauren because he's hitting that.
Yeah.
Hey.
I did not in any way knock anything off my desk. You heard and saw nothing.
It didn't actually pick up, so you just told on yourself.
Well, there you go. Bollocks. You still heard and saw. You didn't hear or see anything then. Cool.
Yeah.
Shadows now? Or Lauren or someone?
So I'm Shadows. I play Lucia, the very obfuscated and smart Malkavian who is always there, just not visible because she doesn't like to be in fights because they're scary and she doesn't know how to throw a punch.
And you'll
A potato
never
to
need to.
Lauren.
Hi, I'm Sarah, or I have too many different social media handles, so I'll just usually go by Sarah or Conquistador de Estrella, which is what I actually am on Twitch. And I'm playing Lauren, who is definitely a Ventru and also is definitely trying to further her quest to become more human because she's decided vampirism is just kind of shit.
Joey does not
And
understand that concept.
And she will definitely be hitting on everyone because she is a shitlord and a gremlin.
So just standard procedure then. Okay, good to know. I stand by what I said before in last week's after show. Lauren's there. I have flowers. Oh crap! Who else was it?
Timothy's there. I have a gun.
Joey's there. I have issues. That's it. Damn it! Forgot my own joke.
Anyway, Joey is perfectly happy with who he is.
For more of this, check out the after show on Patreon.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. We have a Patreon if you want to support us further, but then at the £5 tier, you can actually get access to the after shows, which is basically more of this, but sometimes we actually talk about sessions and sometimes we don't.
Yep. Sometimes we just chat shit, which is not a thing we ever do in the show. Ever.
We are professionals.
Not even once. We are professional streamers. We are good at our jobs. And at the £10 tier, you will, when they eventually happen, get access to the character sheets and things like that for kindred that are, kindred and notable mortals that are, for whatever reason, either not going to turn up again or yeah, that really just
And then
they're not going to turn up again.
And then you can judge us for how we most likely did character creation maths wrong, because maths is the devil.
Numbers
I
are
feel
hard.
like I should not comment on this one, given that I am an engineer, but you know, that happens when I'm at work, not when I'm here.
I mean, I swear I did character creation maths right.
Anyway, let's go to the recap.
Yes. So last session, all those centuries ago, I
Shit's
believe
fucked.
Shibby Waggio.
Yeah.
No, actually, you know what? Just for a
Okay.
giggle,
We split up and looked for clues.
you did.
Oh my god, yeah, we actually did. We were the vampiric Scooby Gang. Jesus Christ.
But yet we didn't have a talking dog.
That's you.
Wow.
Joey is not the talking dog.
Joey is Velma, and you know it.
No,
come on, that is
that's
Lucy.
Lucy.
Lucy is Velma.
Yeah.
Joey's Daphne.
Joey's Daphne with the sociopathy of Fred from Be Cool, Scooby-Doo.
Anyway,
and
We are so far off the rails.
Well,
I mean, I wasn't aware we were ever on the rails.
Well, now we have the dog.
Okay.
Anyway, recap. Going back to
So, yeah,
what
Joey and Jenny. I believe it was Jenny.
Lauren, actually.
Was it Lauren?
Yep.
All right. Joey and Lauren went to an apartment building where we found out there's a ghost of a little girl who, when she's ignored, she explodes. And because mortals can't see her, because ghost, she sets a lot of fires, I assume. And something may or may not have called out of a rip in the veil that this kid exploded. We need to speak to a, blood mage about that. While the others went to the sewers to find the Nos, because we need those rats on our side. And we find out their leader, the Shadow King, is currently in torpor, so we have to find a powerful kindred that blood can awaken it. And as far as anyone knows, only one of those exists in the city. One who, during the SI raids, caused quite a stir at a museum. If there's anything else I've forgotten, let me know, because my memory is...
Joey did kill a dude because Joey's...
The Valley Girl Karen inside his head, aka the Beast, says, hey, we should go numb.
What the fuck just happened?
I don't know what happened.
Sorry, I'm going to mute myself while I try and figure something out.
Okay.
Okay.
So we start.
It was totally a hard decision for Joey to make to kill that person. Like it
was a long and grueling ethical dilemma that Joey ummed and ahed about for at least 2 seconds.
And it totally wasn't mostly just to make sure Jen felt comfortable, and not just kill the first person on the street. Lauren. Names are hard.
They are.
Everyone should just replace their names, except for Joey, with numbers.
Who would be Joey's number 1?
Lucy, clearly.
Joey, of course.
No, again, Joey gets to keep his name. It's the rest of everyone else who has to lose their name.
I see. Joy's secretly a programmer. He started counting at 0.
Anyway.
And then Joey divides by 0 and ceases to exist. So, starting the next night, I assume, can everybody please roll to wake up? And I will log into Roll20. I already am logged into Roll20. Never mind.
I'm actually going to have to log into Roll20.
Nobody else is logged into Roll20 except for Jen, who's a good girl and does as she's told.
I mean,
I've been in Roll20 since the bloody beginning.
Yeah.
I'd like to press X to doubt.
No, I can vouch.
Well,
And I am so trustworthy.
Uh-huh. Of course you are.
So I am at the same hunger.
I mean, me being on Roll20 means we can see the chat logs. So clearly I've been on Roll20.
Lucia goes up in hunger. Joey
Joey's-
is
Still at 0 hunger.
Joey is still incapable of gaining hunger, the little shit.
I get
And
hungry.
Lucia and Lauren are feeling a tad peckish.
Hey, at least right now there's no way Joey's beast can act up because I have no hunger die.
Well, time to go find a dog.
Go find a what?
A doggy.
A dog?
Yeah, to drink.
All right.
Or a horse.
Remember-
You know, I could find a horse. That'll be
I
enough.
mean,
I can point you to a few rich. I can point you to a few rich girls' stables.
I'm just going to point out that the feeding rules in V5 are just dumb as fuck because if you're going to go for something that has physically more blood than a human, you should be able to clear all your hunger. And a horse has
Right.
more blood than a human.
I think it's meant to be less about the quantity of blood, and the game assumes human blood is always
I think it's something about the like how much soul there is or whatever. Like it's weird.
Hmm.
and humans have more soul
Yeah.
than animals, apparently.
World of Darkness is
Dark. Grim dark. It's edgy nonsense.
it's grim derp. It's like grimness to the
Huh.
point of dumb.
Yeah,
get
I
it.
mean,
It's-
yeah,
No,
it's
that's
not playing-
Warhammer.
It's
Well,
very
the
human
world-
centric.
the world of darkness is definitely not something you should take too seriously. I mean,
What? If it's like Warhammer, what's the Orcs equivalent of Infetium then?
Bruja.
Gene.
Gene can edit reality just by wanting something enough.
Oh no, actually, in
Yeah.
that case, that is literally werewolves. They can do that. I'm not even kidding about that one. Really powerful werewolves start to bend reality around them.
I was gonna say
Anyway.
that's just Faye in Changeling the Lost, but hey.
anyway, we
So on
did
topic.
start streaming, and there is a game that people are waiting for, presumably.
So we wake up.
So you wake up, and well, what do? I mean, you have a goal ahead of you to find Gwenllian to wake the Shadow King.
Joe will just be waiting at the club, first managing it, speaking to his day manager to make sure everything's okay, and then wait for everyone to show up so we can plan.
Hmm.
Unless any of you guys stayed in one of the many spare rooms at Joey's club, but I'm assuming none of you did.
I mean, yeah, honestly, Timothy doesn't trust you enough for that. And I doubt he ever will, so.
It's not.
Joey
that
has-
I don't trust you. It's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust the room.
Fair. Yeah. I think that Gina and Lucy are back in their old place. Yeah.
You went back to a place that was raided by the SI.
They'll never think to sleep there.
Plus, also,
Yeah,
it's been,
that's
it's been
definitely
empty
how
for like a
we're-
decade.
Hun?
It's been empty for a decade, so like they will
True.
just let because they don't
I
realize.
mean,
how
I
long
feel like
vampires live.
I feel like by after 2 years, because it's 2 years, not a decade. I feel like after 2 years, another family would have moved in by now.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't expect us to be there.
Yeah,
Wow.
Hmm.
All right. So,
What did you do to the other family?
it's fine.
If
We
I-
moved
if
them.
I
I
may-
paid them handsomely to find another apartment, not in London.
They kill great that shit. From
If
just
I may.
Yes.
So when Timothy wakes up, he basically like basically he is hiding something behind his back and smiling in Lauren's direction.
Okay.
And
Uh,
when she asks him what he is holding, he presents her with this. And if you'll look in the Sunny Falls chat, I just looked up pictures of rare orchids, and yeah, he presents you with a rare orchid.
You know, I was kind of expecting another gun.
Mhm.
Oh no, it's actually quite nice. Also, I'm really fucking annoyed that my internet is deciding no today. It is
Oh.
really frustrating.
It's 12.
Okay, let's see if that does any better. Oh, first of all, when did you get these without kind of burning up?
You know, there is such a thing as delivery.
Okay, did you specifically specify a time for after sunset? Because these are really nice, but also I really don't want you to just have spontaneously combusted while I was in torpor.
He looks at you a little nonplussed and goes, I've been a vampire for 50 years. I'm not an idiot.
I suppose it's just the rest of the others sort of rubbing off on us, thinking that.
Okay, hey, to be fair, they're not idiots. They're just extraordinarily annoying.
Okay, no, I will. To all credit where credit is due. Lucia is incredibly intelligent and she's really good at what she does. Jean needs to punch a cinder block wall more often, and Joey is well, he's Joey.
I'd say I'd say he gives off predator vibes, but I'm not really one to talk.
The less said about Joey, the better.
Speaking, and I assume his phone buzzes at that point, and then he looks at his phone and goes, speaking of Joey, and that's when we.
What is on the cards tonight then?
I don't know. It only says come to the club, bitches.
It would not say that. Joey's much more eloquent in text.
I know. Even if it was more eloquent than that, he would still say that.
That's for the audience. That's for the audience.
Plus, also, it's like Joey might be more eloquent than that, but we can see through his bullshit and realize what he's actually saying because we're long enough.
Might as well go to his club. If we keep him waiting, he will get pissy.
So you all presumably make your way to the club. And it's a quiet night. There's only a few people in. The staff are really rushed off their feet, so one of them comes over to you and welcomes you in and tells you where Joey is and points you in the direction.
They'll be on the roof garden as always, the one place in this entire building where no one can listen to us.
You make your way up to the roof. Bon Jovi starts playing.
So,
And Timothy sees a naked portrait of Joey and just goes, good Lord, I think that one's new.
I'm going to take this opportunity to present Lucia with a bunch of roses.
Uh,
Hey, I gave Jean the roses last time.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And he literally says out loud, if you keep doing that, one of these days you're going to get a fist in the stomach. I mean, literally inside your stomach, not just
Oh, I don't know. It could be a fun evening.
The
The fact that you could possibly enjoy that prospect frightens me.
There's a lot of things that you don't know about me, Tim. We can
Let's
discuss
keep
that
it that
later.
way.
Yeah, Timothy. Maybe she just wants someone who's good with her hands for a change.
Oh my god.
Timothy actually starts laughing.
Oof.
And once he stops laughing, he goes, I am not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Lauren is actually going to just share a look with Jean as like I definitely don't already have one of those.
And Timothy gives the look of, I definitely don't enjoy watching that. No, sir, no, just a good Christian boy here. No.
And Joey, listening to all this with his fucking bugs, is just like chuckling his own ass off while waiting.
Oh, don't worry, Joey. I'll get to you eventually. I just need to do the rounds first.
But again, you can't. Joey's still on the roof while you guys are in the lift heading up. Joey's just spying on you all.
I mean,
Oh,
Lucia also says, he's just laughing at us, right?
Oh, okay. Then I was going to get him a bunch of roses because, I might as well keep with tradition. But, instead I'm going to give him a bunch of lilies. Why give a rose another set of roses?
I actually do like lilies more.
I think that's when the lift opens and we're seen to the giant rose garden on Joey's roof.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. Like, how am I supposed to compete with this? I might as well give him some kind of shitty flower instead.
Lilies aren't shitty. They're pretty.
They're allergic. They're poisonous to cats, so they're bad in my book.
Hey, Joey says, waving you over while he's just resting on, the little swing thing? He's just lounging on one of those.
Oh, like a sort of swing seat kind of thing.
Yeah, the swing chairs. He's just lounging on one of those.
Were you enjoying a good lech in the lift there, Joey?
Well, I gotta keep an eye on in case there's spies in my building.
Oh well.
I would ask you how many cameras you have, but I'm afraid of that answer. So
237.
Actually, not as many cameras because I know our friend enjoys his fisting. Looks directly at the La Sombra.
That's why it's only 237.
And I don't need any, if the police come into this place and it's like, hey, we need to see your CCTV, I don't want it too obvious that shit's going on when our friend is here. Plus, it's easier to hide, microphones than it is cameras.
Joey, how many of those cameras are in the cisterns?
None, because I have standards.
200 of them are in the dance floor.
You heard it here first, people. Chubby has standards. He hasn't found them yet, but he has them.
Oh no, Joey knows his standards. Joey knows his limits. So I believe we have two things to do today. Speak to the Blood Mage about the whip in the fail, because a whip in the fail in the half London is probably not the smartest thing to leave open.
I mean, you did see that it was healing up.
But having a Blood Mage look into it from a more because they have more information on that shit than we could ever know.
Is a Blood Mage really the best option? Wasn't there a whole clan that was all about the dead?
Yes, but we have limited options in this city, and I don't know if there are any Hakatas.
We should probably set out some feelers to see if we can find any amongst the city, but we should probably keep this beneath the court's notice, because otherwise...
Which going to our Wayward Tremere is probably the best option for that.
Yes. It is not because I don't wish to tell the Queen what is happening, but I don't really wish to give her baseless speculation before we've actually figured anything out. All we know for certain is that there is a fire ghost who explodes when she's ignored.
That still seems pretty dangerous, given out of the 5 of us, only 2 of us could see her.
And
I just hold my finger. I was like 3.
And then there's, if something else crawled out of that rift, the little spirit made. Could be even
How do
worse.
we hurt a ghost if we have to put the little thing down?
Timothy just says
yes.
Tell them mean
something.
words.
Timothy just says something plasma trap.
I knew
Again-
you shouldn't have been watching Ghostbusters yesterday. Jean, you're a
Yeah,
listener,
Ghostbusters
yes?
2 is much more superior.
Yes, Lasambra.
Yes. It has been said that the Lasombra can interact with the spirit world when their blood is up. If you catch my drift.
Are you saying Jean can punch ghosts if she feels like it?
I'm not entirely certain how powerful she is, but it is not unheard of for her clan to do so.
I know it's funny coming from me, but the Sombra's oblivion is kind of bullshit.
I mean, shadow stuff, not really my thing.
So
Never
what you're
had the knack for it.
So what you're saying is we have to numb on you and then try to master it ourselves.
Take a nibble, Joy. I dare you.
I don't have a final death wish, my dear. And the next step, of course, is if we want feelers around the city, there's only one way to get feelers around in the city. We need the NOS. What can you tell me about what you discovered when you went to the sewers yesterday?
Find the shadow.
The Shadow King is currently doing his best impression of a doornail, as in he's dead as one. And yeah, they need some powerful blood to wake him up.
And if memory serves, the only kindred that is powerful enough to wake him up is a Bruja.
Do we have an idea where this Bruja is?
A museum in London, maybe, but there's a chance she's no longer bound to that place.
Are you aware of just how many museums there are in this city? Just saying a museum in London does not narrow
It was
down
a specific one. It was a
Pretty sure
specific
it's the
museum.
museum.
Pretty sure. I'm going to go open the book.
I mean, we can make it the museum.
Yeah, it's
Like,
I'm just this is out of character. I'm just quietly reading because like there is no such thing as the Museum of London.
I know.
There's like 10 different museums which are just called the museum.
It is a museum that focuses on a particular set of artifacts and historical tales, which you know as kindred are tales of Mithras, Mithraic mysteries. It is a museum frequented by the cult of Mithras.
So we would.
You don't need to roll for that. You would just know that because Queen Anne would have made sure people knew stuff like that.
So us just casually walking there is probably not the greatest idea given our allegiances.
You have no idea who's there, if anyone's there.
Well, given that we have made a name for ourselves, and I'm quite a public figure in court, we are quite clearly on the side of Queen Anne. And Queen Anne.
Do also know that antigen hit that museum hard.
I mean, the 3 of you are well known.
Yes,
Lucy and I have been out of the country for 10 years.
2 years.
You were, however, part of our coterie before that.
You met 10 years ago. The fall happened 2 years ago.
It's 2 years ago. Cool. Yeah. Thank you.
So it's any kindred worth their salt. Hell, even not even a kindred, just anyone who actually knows how to read between the lines of certain organizations would be able to piece together that we are connected.
No, I don't think they would recognize us.
Yeah.
We're not
Do we have the
public.
name of this brouhaha?
Gwenllian.
Gwenllian Fetch Arwen. She dropped the name Fetch. Sorry, she dropped the name Fetch. No, she's just Gwenllian Arwen.
If we need more information on this, I could speak to my Mawa. She's very kindred in the city.
Yeah, if anyone wants to see what they might know about Gwenllian, you can roll an intelligence lore.
There is no lore, so politics?
Do you mean
Intelligence
politics?
occult?
It'd be either politics or
What did I say? Yeah, intelligence
Lore.
Yeah, intelligence occult. Sorry.
I assume my library won't help here.
Unless you have a book about her.
I don't see why not.
2 successes.
I'm not gonna bother because I don't have a cult.
Lol. Well,
5 and Joey 6.
Joey and Lucia know a good amount, actually. Gwenllian Fetch Arwen was sired around 2,000 years ago. But just a little before the Romans invaded England, she was I don't remember her sire's name, but her and her sire fought alongside Boudica, who led a rebellion against the Romans. And while that rebellion ended in failure, Gwen and her sire fought well and remained loyal to Boudica throughout. Boudica's sire was eventually killed. Gwenllian's sire was eventually killed. Boudica committed suicide when her rebellion failed, and Gwenllian disappeared.
It was not suicide and more, I'm not letting them take me alive because that'll be a fate worse than death.
Yeah. But and Gwenllian disappeared under the tutelage of Mithras. It's unknown how willing she was to be with Mithras or how loyal she is to Mithras. But you're muted, Shadow, so
I know.
all right. So that's what you know. You know that she's very old, very powerful, and definitely has an axe or two to grind.
Do we know about her childer and the little thing that happened?
You would know about her having sired. I think her childer is dead. Her grandchilder is still alive. I think.
Yes. When's the last time I checked?
I mean, I don't know about her grandchilder. He could have died.
Yeah.
He could have died?
Yeah, he could have. Probably.
They could have died.
Who knows?
Okay. So
I mean, he's a guy.
Timothy basically just goes, well, let's check out the museum and see what's what.
So with a 5 or a 6, do we know any known associates?
You would, I mean, other than the cult of Mithras, not really. She's been bound in that museum for a while. So
I see. So we know nothing of any Asian vampire.
It's almost like ancient vampires, like their little secrets or something. Very rude of them.
I said Asian, not ancient.
No, sorry. I misheard.
Yeah, I forget which country she's from, but yeah.
Anyway, shall we smash cut to the museum?
I mean,
Yes.
all right, Anything else anyone wants to do?
Does anyone want to reach out to contact about, the veil thing? Just sort of put that in motion. And then, or how to track a ghost would be nice.
Yeah, we
I'm
could.
actually going to put some feelers out just in like non-kindred circles of anyone who's like a medium or like a mystic or like a fortune teller, because this is World of Darkness. They might actually be real.
Then when I'd have my drive when we're heading to the museum, I'd have my driver drive us past the chantry then to give the Tremere in there a by the way, ghost. You may want to check it out and give them the address.
Okay. So you make a
Question.
stop to the.
Given my background, do I know anything about Gwenllian and maybe a red list?
You would know that Gwenllian made a deal with Queen Anne to keep her off the red list. You don't know the specifics of the deal.
I would like to
You
text
just know that
Masira
the deal was.
and ask her if she has any notes about where she might be if she's not in the museum.
Okay. Your side doesn't respond immediately.
I mean, I figured, but
Yeah. So, are we going to the Chantry first?
Yeah,
That's probably actually a better idea, just because it's probably good to start the chantry thing now while we're trying to track down an ancient Bruja.
Yeah, that's what I said. Joe's like, I'll go in and just hand them the file we have. You don't need to come in if no one wants to. You guys want to just hang out in the car?
You all turn up at the Chantry. Is everyone going in or just Joey?
Yeah, I think Timothy would go in because, yeah.
Okay, then you go in and after a short while you see eyes come out of a corridor that wasn't there a moment ago and disappears when you blink. When you look away and look back, it's gone. And she looks a little flustered, but when she comes down the stairs, and, hello, is there something I can do for you?
Ghost in the city, setting shit on fire, fail breach.
I was put it a bit more delicately than that, but yes, that is the gist of it.
Timothy is going to be crafting a bloodstone during this time, so.
I hand her a little file of what Joey put from the 9 successes he rolled on this event.
All right. Thank you. I will see what I can do and see what I can find out about this ghost.
I expect any information to be returned since I'm giving you a fair bit right now. Given your nature of wanting to share more information than typical members of your clan, I'm hoping that's a fair arrangement.
Of course. I'm happy to be of help.
Plus, we don't want any more buildings burning down.
No, that would be a problem if that continued. I will see what I can do. And she takes.
Don't suppose you know there are any cutters skulking around London?
I think there was one that I heard of. I'll have to look into it and see if they're still in London, but if I can find them, I'll give you their I'll give them your contact information and they'll reach out.
That'd be lovely, thank you.
Of course. You're welcome.
And by the end of this conversation, Timothy basically is Lauren in the chantry too?
Yeah.
He walks over to Lauren and puts a perfectly round iron iron pebble that looks kind of crimson and has sort of a sheen to it, about that big. And he says, if you have this on you, I'll be able to track you.
It does
Okay,
take. It takes 3 nights to craft one of those, by the way.
Oh,
I mean,
Never
you could
mind
decide it 2
then.
nights ago. I mean, you could just be finishing up. Like, it doesn't matter.
It
I
kinda
started that 2
depends how
nights
long it's
ago.
been.
I'll allow it. I don't care enough to
Hmm.
poo-poo it.
Yeah, just a little Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And bas-
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, that ages me, doesn't it? Fuck.
Really
Yeah.
does. But then
I was-
I got the reference, so ages me too.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched Train World. I was more a Bill and Ted guy.
Okay.
Fair enough.
No,
Anyway,
that is better.
He gives Lauren the bloodstone to do with as she wishes.
Sorry, what? My internet's cutting out again.
You're given a bloodstone.
Okay.
Lauren puts the
Oh.
bloodstone on a merry-go-round.
How? Okay, I'm not even going to ask how you were able to make this, but thank you.
Do you hand it over while? Oh wait, does Ice know you know blood magic?
I showed her the fact that I've been able to,
All right, yeah, I
to
could
do
remember
blood
if you told
magic
her or
the
not.
very first time I met her.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if you told her. In that case, yeah, if she notices, she doesn't pay any mind.
She knows about blood magic. She doesn't question what actually goes into doing it. It's just like, okay, this is a thing you can do. I'm not going to go into the details.
And basically he just says, I can use that to track you if you get abducted, or, you know, if I just feel like stalking you some night. And he does smile at that. You know, it is a joke.
You know, I could do that, the exact same thing without it. Just go get tracking chips installed on all of you.
And way to go from romantic to creepy, Joey. That's a new record.
You're welcome. I'm just trying to get us out of here as fast as possible.
Very well. Let us try and head to the museum and make sure we don't draw any attention to ourselves.
Do you say that out loud?
Not loudly, more just kind of like that last
just
bit's
wondering
more
if-
like under her
Just
breath.
wondering if Ice would hear you say you're going to a museum.
I mean, depending on her powers, she might.
Yeah, depends on how observant she is, really.
I mean, I don't think she has heightened senses, so meh, whatever. She's going off to study, do things. She's gone, and all of you leave, and we star wipe to the museum, and I mean it's 2 years, so like the damage done has been cleared up. The damage done during the SI raid has been cleared up. The windows replaced, etc.
I imagine they got quite a lot of shit for that, given that they're attacking one of the biggest tourist spots in London.
It would.
I mean,
was a
none of them
gas-
got shit for it because like they all got fucking murdered.
It was a gas leak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is the museum open during the night?
it is open at night.
So Timothy just, as they walk out, does the, I'm taking my girlfriend for a visit to the museum for some reason, lock arm, and just walks in casually with her.
Yeah, it closes at midnight, so you've got like an hour or two.
Okay.
And you've got a few hours. Like it'll be that long, so you've got a few hours, 2, 3 maybe, before it closes. But yeah, it's currently open. There's a few other people around, but they pay you no mind.
Mm-hmm.
If you walk through, and
Why don't you take the
talk-
lead on this one? Saying this to Timothy. Why don't you take the lead on this one, since you actually know what we're looking for, and I have about as much grasp of this collection as anyone else here.
Wits awareness.
And at that moment, a tour guide seemingly appears out of nowhere. Hello, is this your first visit to the museum? Would you?
I've got this. We're not interested. Fuck off.
And Timothy basically does the.
I want to study this tour guide.
The young woman seems a little taken aback by that.
Timothy
okay.
basically does the no need to be rude posh British without doing that, and basically he gives her a $20 quid tip, and basically just goes, sorry for your trouble, hope your evening is better than this.
I'm willing to take the tour. I can't speak for my friends.
Oh, wonderful! And she leaves. I presume just jovially.
I don't want to third wheel their double date any more than them giving me a lift.
In that case, she takes you on a tour around the Mithraic mysteries. Although she doesn't know specifically what it is, she just knows that it's all things that are related, and it's basically.
So Mithras was like a historical figure. Yeah, Mithraism was like a.
Oh
thing.
yeah, I know.
It was like a. What's the word? Competitor for Christianity in the UK.
Oh yeah.
Like we almost had Mithraism as like a thing in the UK.
Yeah.
It's like a religion.
I will sense the unseen this shit.
You see a lot of wards just actually no roll to see shit. It's composure. Is it composure discipline or resolve discipline?
Resolve discipline, I believe.
Okay, then please.
May I roll wits awareness to see if I can see a person I'm looking for?
Sure.
4 successes.
You see wards on pretty much everything here just light up. Some of the wards are simple preservation, so they don't like decay quite as badly as they would otherwise. And others are you think maybe to stop certain types of creatures touching them, to hide certain aspects of their nature, that sort of thing. And there are wards you don't recognize.
Most of the ones I don't recognize I'll memorize to show Timothy later.
Can I also sense the unseen, and do I get bonuses from hidden senses?
Sure.
So I've got 2 successes for. I got 2 successes for attempting to spot the. I'm attempting to spot Gwenllian by the description I was given.
Oh, you do not see her here at all.
That's kind of what I expected.
Sense the unseen?
Yeah, does heightened senses help with sense the unseen?
I mean, if it means I can see more,
Yes. Sure, why not? I'll allow it.
I mean, typically you don't get the same dice added. Like you don't get the same power added twice.
That is a bestial
it's
crit.
technically not the same power added twice.
That's a
same
bestial
specific
crit.
power.
Sure.
What are some tasty Malkavian compulsions I can throw at you?
I mean, I am very hungry.
Yeah, but compulsions are more fun.
I mean, hunger is a compulsion?
I know. But I don't wanna.
Sarah just had to be right back.
Okay.
So the climb compulsion stuff. Where did that spell which I can never find? Right. Yeah, if you go to page 208 of the core book, there's hunger, dominance, and harm. The kind of compulsion for the Malkavians is delusion, which I will post it in the chat. So basically, their Malkavianness goes out of whack, and mechanically, you get a 2 dice penalty to rolls including dexterity, manipulation, composure, and wits, and rolls to resist terror frenzy for the rest of the scene.
Oh, well, have fun with that. Is there any others, or is that it?
I mean,
Okay.
that's the kind compulsion for the Malkavian.
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
If everyone gets the
yeah.
hunger, dominance, and harm ones, because
Yeah.
the beast.
Yeah, so it's paranoia, harm,
You're supposed to,
hunger, and dominance.
Because it's a bestial crit, you roll a d10 and that's the type you get, because obviously you have the chance of just being hungry, but you've also got the chance of feeding
I mean,
Sure.
it doesn't have to be a D10. The DM can pick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. It's
Yeah.
like if it's completely random, it's a d10, and otherwise it's whichever one would be most thematic. For
Yeah,
the
I
scene.
normally do DM pick, unless
To be fair, since you're using See the Unseen, with your Malkavian mind, it makes sense that it gets a bit weird to tell reality from fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see clan or paranoia.
You peer you peer into the realm of the unseen. You look beyond what mortal eyes can perceive, and you are overwhelmed. There are portents and omens here, signs of a coming storm, a coming god. He is the sun, and he will consume all. He will destroy you. He will obliterate all of the unworthy. He will annihilate the unclean. Be you worthy, or be you dead, I guess. Only the worthy will survive. Only the pure will flourish. The others, the failures, the weaklings, the malcontent, the incompetent, they will be swept aside in a rain of blood and fire. Please roll a terror frenzy.
Oh, cool. So I get a -2 to this. Fancy check.
Mithras is fun.
I haven't used willpower. My humanity is that number, and I get a -2. It's a 3.
You managed to hold on, and I will give you the same thing I gave Joey, though. You do see the wards, or the strange glyphs and wards and other things on all of the artifacts, and
I just look at Lucienne, assume that she's doing the
Her eyes go real wide, and her face somehow goes paler, and she leans into Jean more, digging her nails in a little.
she's scared.
and basically Timothy just asks, "You see something?"
Perhaps we should move on to the next room, and it's like the not as a sort of suggestion. It's like the let's just go right now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the tour guide and Joey are just having a grand old time.
Pretty much, I'm like, as I've been speaking to her quite, just casually talking and looking around, listening to her, I say, a friend of mine said that I had a friend who used to live in London before I moved back to the city a few months ago. She said she worked at a museum a few years ago, And I give a description of Gwenllian and say, chance, did she work in this museum by any chance? Just casual conversation as we walk.
As a
I'm
note,
sorry, I don't know anybody by that description, but I haven't been here very long.
Yeah.
I would love to actually try to spot Gwen as I look around, terrified
Okay.
of everything.
Sure. I will.
Yeah.
I will let you do a paranoia roll. Tee.
Aha.
And just while Lucy is sort of very scared and things, like Jean will hold her hand a bit tighter, not uncomfortably, but in a sort of reassuring way.
That's
So that's
another
5
bestial
successes.
crit.
Oof.
You you know what? I'm gonna this time roll a d10.
Hmm.
Or do I roll the d10?
Yeah,
I'll
Do you want me to roll
the
it?
d10.
I have it typed.
Okay, then roll. What do the
Timothy
dice decide?
Timothy isn't in another room. He is
6.
on the other side of this
Oh.
room.
That
Harm.
is 6
Harm.
is
I don't think harm makes sense.
I mean, you could harm Jean.
But why?
You're scared and you dig your
she's-
claws into her.
Yeah.
Because Malkavian.
the hunger compels the vampire to hurt and destroy, not to feed or win, but for the sole sake of causing harm, reveling in the pain of others. This compulsion always, and this compulsion often, but not always, means physical harm. It can also involve subtler types of damage. Oh, pardon me.
Mhm.
Such as social or emotional. You know, actually, I think paranoia fits better, to be honest,
Yeah.
what with the whole delusion thing. I'll go with paranoia. You are now paranoid. You're being watched. You're being watched, Lucia. They're watching you. Mithras is watching you. His agents are watching you. He knows.
Meanwhile,
that
Timothy.
he knows you're an unbeliever. He knows you're unworthy. He knows that you are fit only to be purged. He's watching you, Lucia, and he's hunting you. Yes.
By the way, do I, with 5 successes, spot anyone?
You did not spot Gwenllian, no.
Cool. Well then.
And I just look to
You
Lauren
do,
and
however, spot a very well hidden door.
There's a door there,
That
but he's
is,
watching. He's watching. He's watching. He knows. He knows where you're.
It's okay.
Jean,
Who knows?
why don't you take Lucia out for a snack?
Well, why don't you
While-
move on? And I'll.
Yeah.
I do make sure to point out the door, but also
I'm just gonna.
he knows. He knows.
Yeah. I'm gonna find like a fire escape to some stairs or something, and just
Okay,
take her through
Timothy.
that.
Timothy.
So who's watching? He's gonna kill us. He's gonna kill everyone.
Babe, no one is gonna hurt you.
Not if we
I
kill
do
him
really.
first.
I love the paranoia compulsion. It's so much fun.
Okay, Timothy is kind of like
Yeah, hold on. Can we just focus on Jean and Lucy for a minute? Just
Right.
she takes her to the side and yeah. Like anyone
Watching.
comes after you, I'll kill them first. You know I will.
No, not this one. He's a god. I love you, but you can't face him. You'll die. Everyone will die.
Hmm.
You can't fight the sun.
It's okay. Yeah, Jean will just pull her into a hug. Shh, there's nothing I can't fight. There's nothing I won't fight for you.
You can't. No, don't fight the sun.
Can I spend some experience right now?
Deuce?
user.
I want to buy
Yes, you can.
discipline.
Sure. I'd like
I'd
to
like
put
to
something
increase
in
my
me
oblivion
too, yeah.
to. I'd like to increase my oblivion to level 2.
Sure.
And take I think it's Shadowcast.
Okay.
Where I used to activate it just now.
Okay.
Cool. I got a little bit hungry after that. Yeah. Jean's shadow grows and envelops them.
Oh.
No sunlight in here.
No, he's watching. They're watching. They have eyes everywhere. The wards, they're everywhere.
Yeah, she'll just hold her close. And that's a good place to cut away to others.
Yep. Okay, so
So Timothy will ask Lauren to essentially be his eyes because she mentioned she can sense the unseen.
Yep.
As the hidden door was pointed out to him. So he will try to find a way to open it.
She will actually just comments like that. If I'm going to do this, you're going to have to see for me because if I'm doing this, I can't see anything else around me.
And he is holding your. You are like in the lock arm, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna do sense the unseen.
yeah. So as you peer into the realm of the unseen, you see what everyone else has seen. Wards. Oh wait, actually no. I should roll.
I need to roll for it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just need to double check what the roll is. Wit suspects or result. Oh yeah, wit suspects is the actual actively looking for stuff. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Don't have any modifiers. Yep. Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Looks like we're all bestial critting today.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's one of them days.
Ventrue,
okay.
like, wait, what's the cative compulsion?
We don't have one.
I don't think they have one.
Well, then.
We just get the regular hunger and other compulsions.
Yeah, you become paranoid. Why is everyone leaving? Why is everyone going? First Joey, now Lucia and Jean. Where are they going? Are they plotting against you? Are they conspiring? They're working for Mithras. They are. You're sure of it. You're sure something's going on. Maybe they are working for Mithras. Maybe they're plotting to betray you. Maybe you should have Snickers.
All that she actually says under her breath is, "Not if I betray them first." Forget
the moment he hears that, Timothy basically does the make sure she's looking at him and goes, "Are you okay?"
I'll just point out, because I can't actually do this. Her eyes are like this right now. Like she cannot see normally right now.
Oh, wow.
All right. And
so she's like, just they're all in on it. They're all in it. They're all working for him. They're all informers. We need to make sure they just before we know what's happening. We need to strike them now.
No, we don't. Trust, like, you trust me, right?
Yeah, I trust you. It's just them. I don't
okay.
Trust. You make sure it's just.
Listen to me. Listen to my words. As long as we're together, nothing will ever take us by surprise.
She's still like completely. Her eyes do come back to normal, but it's not the kind of normal of actually. She's okay. It's just like there's just a grim determination of.
Yeah.
We get what we came for.
See if that has an effect on her paranoia. Please roll a charisma persuasion with a plus. I'll leave it up to you. What do you think? +1 or +2? How deep is this relationship? Like how in love are Lauren and Timothy?
She's talking to someone.
0, because vampires can't feel love.
Well,
Correction, Joey can't feel love.
No, vampires can't feel love. We can feel the reflection of love.
yeah, the emotions you feel are like the memory of emotions.
Yeah. At high enough humanity, it becomes real though.
Yeah. If so, like, is it like would you say it's a +1 or a +2? How in love are Joey? I mean, sorry, Timothy and Lauren.
I would probably say it's a +1 because they still actually need to sort out where they are and what their relationship actually is.
Yeah, that's fair.
I got a +1.
That is charisma persuasion.
Yeah.
Figure out how much this is actually real and not just the joke.
4 successes.
Please re-roll and get a crit on hunt. You can't, but it would be funny. You can re-roll.
Actually,
would you say 4 successes is enough?
To like sort of snap her out of it.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like I have a different approach to this. She's calmed down, but she's not like panicking, but she's still paranoid, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So she's now going into the all right, I'm calm now. What is my path to victory? What is my plan of attack here?
And he is basically going, they are not our enemies. And basically he is attempting to convince her that this is Mithras attempting to muddle her mind and get her to attack her allies. Basically, I'm trying to logic her way out of her paranoia.
So we cast the sun down back to the earth.
Precisely.
That won't have an environmental effect at all.
Even a god can bleed, and we will make sure of it.
And he is swiftly moving towards the hidden door and making sure that nobody can overhear this conversation. That is very masquerade breachy.
Yes.
I mean, she's just going to look like a crazy person because she's not actually said anything about Mithras or anything else. She's just talking about the sun falling and killing a god.
And Timothy is going to open that secret door and walk in.
Can I say what Joey was doing while all of them were having freaks out?
Sure. As you get to the door and you reach out towards it, we cut to Joey because
Joey's been being a bit flirtatious and with this tour guide, just talking to him. I think you said it was her. Hey, you look pretty nice. Question: Where do these record to? Pointing at the canvas, playfully, just being like, pretty much. He would have walked into this talking about how the city's been a bit dangerous the past few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're streamed to a cloud server, I think. I'm not really sure about how the security works, right? I think they're streamed to a cloud server.
Do you know where that is?
I don't have a clue. Like I said, I've only been working here for a few months.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's sad.
But it's better security than the last place I worked. They didn't even have security cameras.
Where was that?
She named some business that she worked at. Insert shop here. It was a Tim Hortons. I don't know. I don't know. I was looking at Gerbil and thought Canadian. Sorry, I don't know.
I'm laughing at the meme that Jen posted in Sunny.
Uh,
I mean, it's definitely something Starbucks.
you
know, well, this-
you know what? I completely agree with that meme.
This place is kind of boring up. Like, is anyone else except for you even working here right now with how late it is?
There's a couple of other tour guides, but it's usually quiet on late nights.
What about is security just a cameras? There any guards or anything?
There's a few security guards. They make the rounds. You're really interested in security stuff, huh? Do you work security?
I actually run my own club, so yeah.
What's it called? Maybe I've been. If I haven't been there, maybe I could stop by.
It's called the Dollhouse. It's on the east escorts of the East City.
All right, that sounds
Yeah.
interesting.
Pulls out a picture and shows the picture of the outside of the club.
Ooh. I think a friend of mine was talking about this. Yeah, I think a friend of mine he went there. It was a pretty nice place. Yeah, I'll have to stop by.
Yeah, well, sure you'll have enough time. Drop my name. Maybe you'll get in a bit faster. Place right here.
I'll make sure to do that. And she blushes bright red.
You know what?
Oh God. Oh God.
It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have a bit of fun once this place closes in an hour? After thing.
Sure. I mean, I've got.
You're just gonna have
to
to
go home. My sister will be worrying about me, but
it would only take like 10 minutes maybe. Bit of playful time. Play over here. Pretty much Joey's plan is to be here after the place closes so we can try and steal the CCTV recordings.
okay.
Oh, I thought that was going someplace
Yeah,
far
so did I.
darker.
Darker,
I
yeah.
thought that was going into dark and dirty places, to be honest.
No. Well, it's going to go in a dirty place with Joey, but his plan is once the hour is up, take this woman, have him hide somewhere. Then once the place is fully locked down, then he'll have free reign of the place with this woman, hopefully, to be able to find security camera footage.
So we cut back to Timothy and Lauren. You get to the door and you reach out, and you feel a hand on your wrist, and suddenly there's a person there, and he says, "I don't think you have permission to be here. Can I help you?"
Person looks
You
like
see a bald, dark-skinned man. He is dressed very smart and is wearing a version of the museum outfit, but he looks more like he's a higher up in the food chain, so to speak. So he looks much more well dressed and much more well kept.
Is he quite pale?
So
his hand is cold to the touch.
Okay.
and then so Timothy just smiles at him and goes, "Well, I'm here on behalf of," and he looks around and leans in and whispers, "Queen Anne, and I am looking for Gwenllian."
He doesn't react when you say Queen Anne, but he reacts when you say the name Gwenllian. "What do you want with her?" he says. There's a slightly defensive edge to his voice.
The Shadow King is in torpor, and she's the only one that can rouse him.
I'm just looking at Timothy right now. It's like
Yeah, I know.
entirely just like there's a reason even in my paranoid schizophrenia I don't talk about this shit.
He just says
He is like whispering this, like almost sub-vocally in this guy's ear, and he is basically. He also says, before he can speak, says, "And if she helps us, not only will we be able to get rid of the SI, but Mithras as well."
Ah, Timothy, doing so well. As soon as you say that you might be able to get rid of Mithras, his face hardens. I think you need to leave. Did you forget where you were, Timmy? Did you?
Shit.
I think you need to leave now before I have security escort you. Before I have security make you leave.
And
Now.
last gambit, I'm going to mesmerize him, and he goes, "Take me to Gwenllian," and he looks directly in this bastard's eyes.
Okay. What do you roll to mesmerize?
It is
It's a contested roll.
I believe it's intelligence mesmerism.
Make sure I'm opening the right sheet. Yep, this is the right one.
Yep, it's a manipulation dominate versus intelligence resolve. So it's a manipulation discipline to actually actively do it, and then he has to contest it.
Okay.
Well, gonna arouse because screw you.
Okay, I'll do the same thing.
Well,
You already roused though.
That was for mesmerism.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, yeah, because it's a rouse check. Yeah.
yeah. And he's how many extra dice do I get with what's blood potion does this nerd have?
It's +2 for the rouse, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Depends on blood potency.
He's got 3 blood potency.
That is
I
4
think it's 3 dice.
successes.
Is that +4?
No, I think it's 3
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
for
blood potency.
Yeah, 3 dice. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then so you get the +3 to what was it? Resolve intelligence.
yeah.
Yes, I got a crit.
Only 2 for him, actually. Blood potency 4 gets you 3.
Okay, so yeah, that's
think.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Sorry, how many extra dice do I get?
You get 2 extra dice.
All right then.
And Tim got 3.
Gonna
He got 7 successes.
gonna re-roll that because I can.
Sorry, 8 successes.
6 successes.
Yeah.
So my
So just
mesmerism
in
goes
the
through.
interest of being fair, at blood potency 3, you get to blood search for 3 dice, and you add 1 die to resist or to use any power.
Right, okay. So it'd be another 2 dice.
Just another 1 dice. He's already rolled all the others.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't be able to beat it anyway. Damn, that's a good roll.
Yeah, we've been rolling really weird today.
Yeah. Like, also that dice roll should give you an idea of what its stats are.
Yeah. Oh. So I give him the command to take me to Gwenllian.
Of course, right this way. And he opens the door and leads you through.
And if his heart could be beating real fast, it would be.
Yeah.
Lauren is just going to take a small metal orb about the size of like her palm and just hand it to Timothy, just in case things go a bit south in there. Because she's kind of the opinion that she's not going to be allowed in because the command was take me, not take us.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't stop you coming in.
And basically Timothy is dragging you if you're not coming.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, she just sort of puts the silver spear back in her pocket. It's the firebomb.
Right.
Damn. So you are.
Oh, he's keeping the firebomb.
Oh, okay.
Wow. You are led down through corridors and hallways, past an office, a few offices and other rooms, down into a basement, and there you see a library full of historical books. A lot of them dealing with ancient history in England, Ireland, and Scotland. A lot of the books do focus very heavily on the Roman invasions. And there on a on a bed of sorts, you see a creature you were not expecting. And I love that it's the two that want to get their humanity higher that see this. Because what you see is not your average kindred. What you see is a grotesque, vile creature. Its skin is a putrid, grayish green that looks like it's in the process of rotting. Its eyes are bloodshot and yellowed. Its gums look like they're rotting away. Its teeth are also gross and black. Its nails are yellowed and look brittle. Its hair is stringy and lifeless. And it looks at you with immediate mistrust. And it looks at both of you with deep mistrust and looks at Darius. Sorry, you don't know his name. Looks at the other one and just says, "Wait, what are they doing here?"
And Timothy immediately
And
with me like bows deeply to Gwenllian and goes, "My name is Timothy Lockhart. I am the Scourge of Queen Anne."
you serve the would-be usurper Mithras?
Can I send a text message to the others? Because I think I'll meet them soon. I'm going to point out which room the secret door was off of, and just like the.
Before that, you can roll an intelligence law to see why Gwenllian looks so horrific.
There's no lore. It's it'd be
Sorry, occult. Sorry, occult intelligence. Why are you saying law?
That'll be Tim again, because again, I don't have a cult.
Lol.
Okay. Occult intelligence.
This is where Timothy also gets a big stroke for it.
Nope, but that is 2 successes.
You can re-roll that one because you can re-roll the non-hunger ones.
I am at 2 willpower. I am keeping what I have for more important.
Fair enough.
I'll let you have it. It's common enough knowledge. This is what happens when a vampire's humanity drops very, very low. She is getting dangerously close to sailing.
1 second, I need to go do something. I'll just turn the camera off again.
And in response to her, he says, "I serve the Camarilla, and the queen just so happens to be the one holding my leash."
And what would you have? What need have you of my? Well, what need have you of me?
To rouse the Shadow King from torpor.
Shadow King. I know him. Yes. I know him. He's not dead then.
No, merely in torpor.
See, and you need my blood to wake him up. And what do I get out of it? What service will be granted to me to help you? Why do you want him awake? Tell me.
To rid ourselves of the SI. And he looks at the other vampire and basically does the "could we speak in private" look.
Yeah. Gwenllian says, "You want to vanquish the SI." Oh, you are so very young, and it's always so apparent those who do not study or learn from history. I
Are
will
doomed to
do as
repeat
you
it,
ask.
yes.
Pardon?
As in she says, those who do not study history, and Lauren does pipe up with the response to that one, are doomed to repeat it.
And repeat it you are. I would have you read, and she hits up, and you would notice she's very short. Because here's the thing I realized is all the vampires that are super old, they're very short. So Mithras is like 5.5 feet tall.
Oh,
Gwenllian's
yes.
like 5 feet tall. Queen Anne is about 5 feet tall. And I just find that hilarious.
Yes, because back then people didn't eat as well as we do now.
I know. I just find that hilarious. And all these super powerful kindred way down here.
I mean,
Yes, perfect height to
one that's an
balls.
average. Like
They were average height for the time.
that's an average of the time. Like
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah,
were on average smaller.
Anyway,
You would notice, one, that she is short, and two, that despite her grotesque and low humanity appearance, she is very powerfully built. Like she comes from a time of warriors, and she was a warrior in life. And she goes and she gets a book, and the title of the book just says "The Tale of Boudica." The tragedy of Boudica, a tale of vengeance and loss. And
Lauren will actually just start reading it. It's like, yeah, she's been handed a book by a very powerful kindred. She's going to
Honestly,
do his command and
same.
start reading it.
I would suggest you and your coterie, and I imagine there are more than 2 of you. I would suggest the group reads that book and learns the lessons that your elders clearly have not.
And Timothy just like, this is sincere. This is sincere, by the way. Like, he says, I am always happy to learn from my elders.
You can roll an intelligence academics to see what you know of Boudica, or to know any supernatural stuff there might be surrounding Boudica. You can roll intelligence occult. I got it right. See, I know what I'm doing.
I asked a question.
Hmm?
If we know the story of Boudica, can we just say our character knows?
No.
Okay, 3 successes for occult.
Yeah, you would know that Boudica was a figure prominent in kindred history as well as human history, because she was a lupine, and her daughters were butchered in front of her. And she led a rebellion after that.
God,
You
it must
don't
be
know
nice
the
having a
finer
cult.
details, but you know that you know that she was a lupine. Her daughters were murdered in front of her, and that she led a failed rebellion against the Roman Empire.
And I say as much.
And she just says, yes, read the book. It will tell you a few other things.
You are most generous. However, there is one thing I feel I must correct you on.
She raises an eyebrow at that.
And Timothy is like,
you would correct one who fought by Boudica's side?
Oh no.
Please.
I do not criticize your war record. I do not criticize your glory or your power. Merely semantics. You said the lessons that my elders had not learned. They are not my elders. They are older than me, but they are not my elders.
What plan are you, child?
Wouldn't you like to know? I imagine I could use this information as a bargaining chip for more of your power. If you
Maybe.
really wish to know, we can make a deal. And I will
Hmm.
tell you for a price.
Timothy is looking at Lauren like with newfound respect. Like,
I will rouse the Shadow King if you tell me all of your plans and the real reason you are doing Queen Anne's bidding. It can't simply be because she said so. She's not
Timothy-
even in London, from what I've heard.
I don't
Timothy
actually
looks
think Lauren knows why all of us are doing Queen Anne's bidding.
No, she only knows why
Timothy-
she's doing it.
Timothy looks at her in the eye and goes, "I am Timothy Lockhart, Clan Ventrue. The reason why I do Queen Anne's bidding is because she holds my leash."
Good enough reason as any, I suppose.
I am Lauren Tennant. I was sired by a Ventrue, but I am not a Ventrue. I did not inherit their
Clanless,
curse. Indeed.
A clanless one.
I serve Queen Anne because it is the most expedient means of accomplishing my own goals, and the obedient dog gets more treats than the insolent pup.
That is true. That is true. I myself have made a deal with Queen Anne. I know her. She is practical, and I do not believe that she was responsible for what happened to Khan's children. I don't think she would be quite so stupid. She
The
knows
perpetrator
history.
responsible was tied to a cross and left out in the sun.
A fitting end for such a
And-
monstrous act.
Timothy basically says, "They were my predecessor, an extraordinarily arrogant and stupid kindred."
And a Sumra, from what I've been told.
Careful you do
Summer-
not fall for the same hubris, my love.
And he looks at her with a smile and goes, "With you around, how could I possibly develop any sort of arrogance?"
And she just chuckles. Young love. It's
Okay, and Timothy basically asks, if you would may I bring your vitae to the Shadow King?
I believe he will need more than just a drop of blood. He is going to need a significant amount. I would wager to put a creature like him into torpor, something terrible must have happened. I will go to him, I will find him, and I will do this deed. And then you will owe me a favor.
As it should be.
I have already granted you a favor. I have told you something
However-
I've told no one else.
However, know this. I'm doing this because you have told me something interesting, as you said, and because I like Richard. He's a good sort. But I will not help you in your crusade against Khan. When you read the book, you will understand why. I fought alongside Boudica. I will not fight alongside those who would be Boudica's enemies. And she goes back sitting down. Is there anything else you would have of me? Or are we done here?
Might I keep this? And I'm still holding up the book. until such a time as we
Please
return
do.
to you.
That's
So
my intention.
Timothy, they basically said, "Is the other dude gone?"
No, he's still there. I imagine the mesmerism is worn off.
Oh yeah, it's only like no, it lasts a scene. So
Yeah.
if this is the same
Yeah, it's-
scene, he's still mesmerized.
All right then.
I think it's technically
So
until he accomplishes the task, which he did. So
Oh,
Okay, then, yeah, in that case, yeah, he is standing there and he is glaring at you. But you're not trying to hurt Gwenllian, so he's not reacting, but he is glaring at the two of you.
And Timothy asks, "What is your opinion of Mithras?"
My opinion of Mithras? She looks at the man who led you down, and she simply says, I have lived for so long in his shadow. I have seen him as a god and as a tyrant both. My opinion is that he will do as he wishes. Come what may, he will either take this city back or he will finally meet his end. And another tyrant will take his place.
And if he did meet his end, would you hunt down the kindred or kind that caused his end?
I have lived for long enough to see empires rise and fall. And they always fall. Always.
No matter how big the wheel, it remains to turn.
And you get the feeling that when she says all empires fall, she is very much including the Camarilla in that.
Oh, Timothy, if he lives long enough to see the Camarilla fall, he will consider that an achievement.
Oh, at that, Lauren will just
achievement
smile.
Unlocked. Sorry, what?
Lauren will just smile, and as she does, like her fangs come out. Specifically, just like yes, but it is not their time yet. They're far more useful as a limping man rather than as a fresh cadaver.
You have ambitions.
May I be blunt with you?
The children of Cain shall inherit this earth.
Her eyebrows arch. Are you becoming Sabat again?
Oh no, she still absolutely hates the Sabat. She just uses this because it's a power move.
Yeah, she raises an eyebrow. You should be careful when you say such things. Some might get the wrong impression.
A calculated risk. I believe if you had meant us harm, you would have done so the moment we set foot in here.
That is true.
And sometimes the calculated risks are the ones that pay off best.
Speaking of calculated risks, would you help us take down Mithras?
Again, there's a Mithras is the rightful ruler and God King of our fair country. I will not stand for this blasphemy.
Is this Gwenllian?
No, this is Darius. This is the man who led you down here.
And Timothy looks at this man and goes, I am not talking to you. I am talking to your better. Be quiet.
Just as a quick thing, it's been a while since they sent a message to Lucy and Joey.
Yeah. You could all come down by now if you want.
Oh, and I'm activating toughness the moment he gives that outburst because I might need it.
I mean, in which case, I just want to have like our entrance into the scene being like when Darius speaks up, he just feels that hand on his shoulder, like shut the fuck up. From I
like that. That's so good.
Darius. Darius. I said his name earlier by accident.
Timothy,
the man.
and Timothy also says, I dominated your mind once tonight. Don't make me do it again.
Never get
He is emanating severe Karen energy right now. Like, I will talk to the manager about this kind of energy. But he knows what he's been, so he doesn't say anything.
I know. Right now, Joey's just sitting in the corner looking at all the books.
Wow.
And he looks at Gwenllian in the eye and says, if I may be so bold as to request the answer to my question.
Perhaps we should be asking a different question.
What was the question? Sorry.
Would you help us take down Mithras?
I would.
Wait, we need help.
Perhaps that is not the question we should be asking. Perhaps, as you've so clearly stated your opinions on this matter and your stance, perhaps it'd be more prudent to ask, will you stand against us, or will you stand off to one side and not get involved? We cannot ask you to do anything you do not want to do, and we cannot command you. But
she raises an amused eyebrow at the "we can't command you" sort of thing, like it's sort of like, and there I was hoping you would try sort of look on her face.
Am I forgetting
Timothy
something, or did we ever try to attack Mithras? I don't remember that being a thing.
It was said at the beginning of the campaign that it would be to take out the SI and Mithras.
Yeah.
No, that's Lucy in character, by the way.
Oh, okay.
The myth right now, there's this thing. Joey pulls out one of his hairpins. This gets stabbed in a later category, and that is where Mithras is.
I mean, as
A
long as
wise
he
kindred
doesn't pose a problem to the Camarilla, I don't really see why we would care.
It's
how long have we been down here, by the way?
I'd say like 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe. I don't know, not a massively long time, but we've been down there a little while.
Okay.
But what to answer Lucia's question before anything else? Timothy just looks at Lucia and he says, Mithras broke the masquerade because he thinks he is a god. Unbeatable, unkillable.
He's a god.
Shut the fuck up! If you speak one more time,
I'm just gonna
I will personally ensure you meet the sunrise.
Can I just use prowess and break his collarbone? Like, just crush it?
Go for it. Let's
Can we
let's
please
see your roll.
stop
See how well
antagonizing
you
the
do.
nice person?
I mean, he's just being a dick. I just want to hurt him.
I mean, he's just,
I mean, look,
you know.
look, you're being so mean to the religious fanatic.
just being a religious fanatic is not his fault.
Leave the zealot be.
Don't bully the poor cultist.
You know, I'm embarrassed. This is funny.
So it's a strength.
I'm gonna throw willpower on that.
Yeah.
Joey looks at
See if you crit.
Gwen and goes, I'm sorry for the barbarous in your home.
Yeah, there's a crack as the collarbone just snaps, and he cries out in pain, and it's just Mithras will hear of this, and he just starts whimpering.
Oh, actually, no.
And Gwenllian just says, "Please don't kill him. He's useful."
As he says, as he goes, Mithras to him, Joey just looks like goes, hear of what? Forget.
Oh, I was about to do the same thing.
Damn it.
I think we both just look at him and say forget.
Is it a contested? Is it a contested?
Yes, it's contested because he's a kindred.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I need to. What do I need to roll to?
I think you roll the same thing, but they roll charisma dominate.
I'll result.
Let me check.
I would. I'm gonna rouse for this.
Same, Broski.
Joey is still at
Oh,
Zero
Darius is feeling
hunger.
A little hunger.
No, it's wits resolve.
Yep. So it's
But it is charisma
versus-
dominate versus wits resolve.
Yeah.
Well, that's and I get 2 dice, right? So
If you rouse, you get 3. And you will get 1 die just because you're resisting a power.
Okay, then, so
that's a crit on my behalf.
That's a crit
wait,
on the reroll.
I
You rolled 3 10s.
That still only
Yeah, it
counts
still
as 1
counts on
crit.
reroll.
I rouse, so I get an extra 3 dice, and I get an extra 1 dice because it's resisting a discipline.
Because it involves
Yes.
a discipline, basically. Yeah.
Right, so I get an extra 4 dice. Okay, cool. 6, 7, and I'm gonna re-roll
God.
because I can.
Because 2 people are doing it, he technically has to resist twice.
Yeah, mine has. I've technically rolled. It's not doing anything because of.
So
it.
Joey got a total of
So there's 8 successes.
2
So he beat
8.
Joey.
And the active kindred is the
No, 5 plus 2
Victor.
is 7. 8 is more than 7.
Oh,
No, never mind. It
Am
finally
dumb.
turned up. I didn't get anything.
What did Lauren roll for?
I got nothing.
big old goose egg.
Wait, I don't see it.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Could hit that?
Yeah, it's just a bottom.
Could that first assist be against
know what?
Lawrence?
No.
You know what? What? Timothy can do this too. Can I give it a good old go?
Guys. Like, at this
Technically,
point,
all of
Jean's
you.
just gonna, Jean's just gonna step in front and be like, "Stop this! I want him to remember. Like, I don't fuck with your fun time."
And
Let me have
actually,
this.
actually, Timothy is going to give Guts an idea and goes, "So you will tell Mithras that a neonate dominated your mind, forced you to take us to Gwenllian without any sort of resistance from you.
And then broke.
We
the
harmed
collarbone.
you, and that another neonate harmed you and forced you to capitulate to our will. You will
How do you-
seriously tell your god that you failed him so miserably."
Jean's
Please
gonna hoist him
roll.
up to. I want to assist with this. Jean's gonna like hoist him up so she can speak into his ear, and just say like a bitch and drop him.
Please roll a manipulation, intimidation with a +1 to the assistance from our lady love over here. I don't know why that came into my head.
So that's manipulation, intimidation,
Yeah.
+1.
There's can
To heck with it, I'll rouse. I don't get
because Joey's
hungrier.
spying on most of this, can I roll an academic see what Joey knows about Boudica?
Sure.
Manipulation.
Intelligence academics or intelligence law, depending on what you want to know.
Holy shit, that's a bestial crit.
That's a lot of 10s. Oh yeah.
So if I may, can I like, I have an idea of how this goes, if I may.
Yeah.
So
But you also get
Timothy-
compulsion, so have fun with that.
the beast basically takes control and goes, and Timothy is snarling, and
You know what? I think this is whatever you're going to do is probably going to solve the compulsion, because I was going to go with the clan compulsion, Bentry, arrogance, the need to rule.
Attention!
What?
Private Timothy, there's low-life maggots insulting our honor, our platoon's honor. Show them their goddamn meaning of what it means to be a soldier.
Oh yeah.
Timothy is basically
Private Lockhart, yeah.
standing over him and snarling
Yeah.
and basically beta pitching this guy.
Oh, please, yes.
Well, Timothy done that. Do some academics for for Boudica's history. I rolled a 5. For
Nice.
her supernatural history, I rolled a 7.
Damn. So, we'll deal with Timothy first, so we can get that
I
out of
rolled
the way.
the max possible successes with a crit. So that's
Okay,
Oh, you did, didn't you? Because damn.
okay,
Yeah,
so
you just like if he were a mortal man, he would be sobbing in fear and humiliation. But he is definitely cowed. He would be shaking in fear, but he's just like huddled up and like trying to back away from you. You know, just yeah. He wants to be out and away from here.
I'm going to help him with that. I'm going to like kick him across the room,
Damn.
like into a shadow.
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
Timothy looks at Gwenllian and back to his polite air basically just goes, my apologies for
Oh, don't apologize. That's the most entertaining night I've had in months. I should invite you here more often if that's what it's going to be like.
honestly I expected one of your servants to be less pathetic.
I don't think he's her servant.
He's less of a servant, more of an acquaintance. Sorry, an acquaintance / benefactor.
I mean, all the
He
same.
helps me. I provide him with historical information that he needs for his research.
It does seem like the historical nerd kind of person.
I'm sorry?
He does seem like a historical nerd.
I'm late to this party, but has anyone explained why you look like that and not? I mean, I was kind of expecting like a badass warrior queen.
That is.
Was
that
I
is
lied
what-
to?
This is what happens, my dear, when you don't balance your morality too well as one of our kind.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And you want proof that I'm a warrior queen?
I
She
think we can
asks.
accept that.
Oh, please,
She
try me.
says she asked Jean.
And the moment this is happening,
I
Timothy
think
is
Lucia kind of stabs in between and goes, I think she's misspeaking and can totally see that you're a very gracious, very, very powerful warrior queen that needs no explanation.
Nobody likes a suck up, dear. No. Actually, no. She's going to say one of my favorite lines ever. She's going to look at Lucia and say, "Sucking up is a way of life. You don't just do it when it suits you." That's a line from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I love it.
I would rather not have her getting punched out of this existence.
Sorry, what? You're both talking.
yeah, we've been kind of talking over each other the last like 5 minutes.
Sorry. Lucia.
I would rather her not be punched out of existence. And I know you're very capable of doing that as a very powerful and ancient Bruja.
I'm looking for a character sheet. I did have it.
If sucking up will protect her, then I don't really care.
Did I not write her character sheet? God damn it. What page is she on? Thought I'd done her character sheet. Guess not.
Her character sheet is on page 179 of the PDF, 177 of the book.
Thank you very much.
Although it is an honor to meet one of the famous Butcher Queen's generals in person.
Butcher Queen?
Is it?
Queen Boudica was not the most indiscriminate on her crusade against the Romans. But
I feel the Romans had it coming.
But the issue is the issue is Boudica and her people didn't just butcher the Romans on their crusade south.
Boudica did make a lot of morally questionable choices, certainly by today's standards. But what would you do? How angry do you think you would be if you were forced to watch as your daughters, both of them, were dragged in front of you, bound, tortured, violated, and murdered
Just what also,
right in front of you?
wasn't her husband also slaughtered in front of her?
No, I don't know.
I mean, there's also
I think
just
it was
a bit
their
of,
daughters.
if she's a
All-
werewolf,
all-
they normally fall to rage pretty quick.
What you would know from lore, Gwenllian was not known to be a lupine before that event. She was very much known to be a lupine after. That was her first change.
I mean,
And if
You mean
know-
Boudica.
with that many successes, you would know that when a lupine changes for the first time, they don't change into the normal werewolf form. They change into the Kronos war form. She would have been 9 feet tall, gigantic fangs and claws. She would have been a literal death machine. There
With
would
that
have
many
been
successes, does he know anything about like whether the face of the moon matters and what she would be? Because I feel like she's Aaron,
She's what? Sorry.
Rune.
really dangerous fighting ones. The really mad ones.
I don't think so, because he wouldn't know. He wouldn't have a read. I don't think any kindred scholars would care what clan or what tribe she was. Just that she was
No,
a
not the
lupine
tribe.
that changed for the first time when she witnessed her daughters be brutalized and murdered and went on a rampage. She tore the Roman legion apart.
But you did ask our friends here. I overheard as I was coming down the stairs about us not repeating history. We're not going to go on a full rampage against the SI. That's the difference between us and Boudica's march. We're planning to be a lot more surgical.
Yes, because murdering Khan's children and leaving them for him to find was
We didn't do
the
that.
greatest act of subtlety ever made.
We didn't do that. You asked us what we are doing different.
We are not
if-
the one
and if
who
you-
was strung up for his crimes.
We have been asked to do a task, and we know from past experiences, screaming out at the top of our lungs, hey, we are kindred, don't fuck with us, led to London getting fucked. So now we are going to be doing this more strategically. Here's the thing, we have two choices here. We could either be Queen Boudica against the Romans, or the Vietnamese against the Americans. We're going to choose to be the Vietnamese in this situation.
I think you're missing the point I'm trying to make. You had a chance to prevent history repeating itself. Now you have Khan, who, like Boudica, was forced into a trial by fire. And like Boudica, he was not left a broken, shattered remnant of a man. He was forged and remade and became something far, far worse. He is now a nightmare from which the kindred may never escape.
And just like Boudica, if we are able to take down his power base, it will leave him with nothing but one choice.
Even the strongest of forged steel will still break if struck in the proper way with enough force.
That is true. That is true. But let me ask you a question. If Khan is the next Boudica, who will be the next Khan? And who will be the next after them? And the next after them? And the next after them?
There will always be people like this. Sadly, history It's a cycle, and sadly, there is very
History is
few ways
only
to
a-
break it.
History is only a cycle because people refuse to learn. People refuse to change. The Camarilla needs to change. It needs to become something else, something better, something different, something more suitable to this modern age.
And then once it does, it will then start the circle of stagnation all over again.
I have a question. Who fucking cares? Like, really? Today's problems are today's problems. I'm going to punch them till they stop being our problems. And then me and my girlfriend are going to live happily ever after until another problem shows up. And I'll punch that too. Like, really, this is a hammer nail situation. No matter how many nails you put in front of me, I'm not going to get tired.
When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, Gene.
I am the hammer.
And you're a very pretty hammer, which is why
Thank
we
you.
have a tool. Which is why we have a tool case. That is why we will put together.
I mean, my point is just that this cyclical history bullshit, it doesn't matter.
There's no way to prevent it. I'm sorry. Even if we learn from it, here's the thing. All of us here could be masters of history, but it just takes one dumbass who doesn't learn to ruin everyone else. And that is what happened here.
One bad
Yes.
apple spoils the batch.
And there's no way to prevent a bad apple from arising.
You know, they say that about my police friends quite a lot, and I don't get it.
And Timothy, at this point, Timothy just goes, "Thank you for meeting with us, Gwenllian." And
Gwenllian.
Gwenllian.
Although I do have one quick
And-
question before we leave. They say you're the basis between Guinevere from the Arthurian laws. Is that actually true to that statement?
Good night. And thank you for visiting.
Worth a
You've
try.
taken up far too much of your time already. Let us go.
Oh.
And she turns to literally everyone else.
Yeah.
Joey's already walking up the stairs. Or
I just want to
wherever it
point
was.
out a quick thing. Didn't she ask for everyone's, not just the two of them?
She did.
Okay.
But we weren't there when
did,
she
but-
asked.
but
I know.
She did, but you have provided her a night so much more entertaining than anything she's experienced in months, maybe years, decades even. Like, you lot are such a shit show. She's like, you know what? This is enough.
No, I want to add to
This
that.
is enough.
Just as we're leaving, I want to go over to Darius and like kick him into the wall again, just to like drive home the point. And yeah, and then I'll leave.
Joey, turns around. I've got a question. Any chance you can give me since you're the whole warrior queen thing, any chance you can give me a blade? I want to start sword training.
She goes to.
You know, I could find you like 20 of them.
She goes and opens up a chest, and she pulls out a sword, and you hear the scraping of metal. There's clearly a lot of swords in there, and she just throws the sword at you. Not like violently, just sort of a casual underarm.
I assume she would throw one which is built that would be good for Joey's more
Yeah.
first combat style.
Yeah, she's a warrior queen, so she knows what kind of blades a person might be best wielding. And she
Timothy actually, like, without prolonging this anymore, he would ask for like a dagger or something, and basically shows the Bowie knife that he already has.
Yeah. She does the same. She reaches further down into the box. No, she goes to a different box actually, and reaches and pulls out a nicely ornate looking dagger. And again,
and
throws it in your direction.
Timothy grabs it again, bows respectfully, and just says, "Good evening. Good evening, Elder."
You have all been rather well met. more entertaining than I've dealt with in so long.
I think
We are
Lucia
nothing
just
but a coterie of clowns.
she smiles
Well-
and as she's leaving, she just mutters in a tone that anyone can hear, but she's just, saying it really to herself. The wheel weaves as it wills, and we're just but threads.
And to the Lawrence statement of we're Coterie clowns, Joey says as he's leaving, yes, but to be fair, the enemy is expecting soldiers. Who expects the clowns?
I think Gwenllian actually just shakes her head at that. Just, she's so baffled by you lot. And
Timothy basically looks at Lauren and goes, I was nothing but respectful, maybe a little bit blunt, but I've never been a clown.
Timothy,
We are
everything you do
unfortunately
is
part of the
so
s-
clownable.
We are unfortunately part of the same coterie as these three.
Excuse me. I take offense to that.
Yes.
Lucia's just there like, hey, I resemble that remark.
Timothy-
Lauren is just kind of she's just watched this unfold and is like, for fuck's sake. So she actually just goes and just turns out and walks away.
And
What
Timothy's
did I do
following
that
her
was
be-
clowning?
Look, you all wanted to hurt him. I just had stones to do it.
And as you leave, like the camera lingers and we see.
Before that, Timothy just says, you hurt him physically, I wounded his pride. Bones heal. I will always have a measure of his pride, and he can never take it back.
No, you're right. That was really funny.
It was pretty good, actually.
I think Lucia actually runs up to catch up with Lauren and goes, what did I do?
Yeah.
Didn't stop them.
I tried.
As you all leave, the
We
camera
need to do better
lingers.
next time.
I'm the
If-
least
if-
physically able person here.
She does stop and turn around and actually puts a hand on Lucia's shoulder and just like you can see that she is just exhausted. Is like,
If you want me to go invisible, I can, but that's about it.
no, it's just we will need to keep them in check. I forgot about the clan Venture's Bane. Timothy was displaying it was in full tonight, and Jean, I fear for her. I fear that she will become like the creature in the basement. I think that
You'll
she
be
needs
fine.
someone to. I think she needs someone to retain her humanity, because humanity is all we have left now.
Just walking off with a sword.
And with that, she's actually just going to go like, I won't be joining the rest of the coterie tonight. I'm going to see if there's any emergencies that need my attention.
Okay, well, I'm starving, so I'm gonna go find some horses.
At the I'm starving, Gina's gonna run up and put her arms around Lucy. I'm hungry too, babe.
And Timothy catches up with Lauren and goes, is tonight the night I finally get to meet your coworkers?
There's actually there's like a pause, and
Haven't
she
you already
looks
met them?
and just
No, I'm playing under the assumption that I've never met her coworkers
okay.
before.
I'm gonna go see about coating this thing in silver.
no, not tonight.
I
I
with
think I
your
need to be around Kine for a little bit, and she actually just walks off. She doesn't say anything else. She just walks off.
Joey, please roll an intelligence law.
You mean a cult?
Yeah.
Also, I think Lucy
Wow.
looks at Timothy and just says, I
cult?
think someone's
Yeah,
in the
that.
doghouse.
While Lauren's walking up, walking off, what rolled up her path?
So you obviously silver is very bad news bears for werewolves, but you also know that that werewolves can sense silver, So the werewolf sees you with a silvered sword. It's going to respond immediately by ripping your head off.
At
You're
the
not
same-
going to get a chance to use the sword.
At the same time, if a werewolf just senses me, they're gonna sense the worm in me and want to rip my head off anyway.
I know, but you know, it might be a situation where you're having a diplomatic interaction, and then if you're like suddenly, I have a sword that's made of silver.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
Well, I mean,
The
like, if
werewolf's
you have a
like,
sword
well,
at diplomatic interaction, then like that's an issue anyway,
it's
right?
also
No
in
one-
terms
fair.
of priority for a werewolf, it goes silver, then it goes worm.
Yeah.
But again, Joey's plan is just to get the blade coated in case it's ever needed. And if we were ever going to do a diplomatic thing with a werewolf, I of course wouldn't bring it.
I just wanted to make sure your character was aware that having a silvered sword around werewolves, like unless you are intending to win that fight, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
Still a problem.
Okay, it's just a Joey wants to say, you know,
Guys.
Yeah.
worst
On
case.
a, like we are at time, so we call
We
it
are,
here.
we are.
This like nice little bit, and then we
Yeah.
take on to the then after show, so we can talk about this
Yeah.
more.
The last scene
I do have an XP question in the after show.
Okay. The last thing I wanted to do was just as you lot leave, you'll go off and you have that discussion about clowns and coat. You know what? That's the episode title of Clowns and Coteries. Good God. I know it's just going to be a coterie of clowns. There you go. But with the camera cuts back to Gwenllian, who watches you leave and gets up. She walks over to the man and she says, "Come on, Darius. It wasn't that bad." She helps him to his feet. And she helps him to his feet, and he's looking rather disheveled, and he straightens his clothes that are now bloodied because bone poking through skin, and he's just, if I don't tell Mithras, then he will punish me. But if I do, he will punish me. But Mithras needs to know that there are heretics plotting against him. I don't think it's much of an issue. I don't think they will survive in a fight against Mithras, do you? That's true. There's nothing to worry about, is there? I guess not. I'm hungry. And I think that's where we end the scene. Just Gwenllian saying, "I'm hungry." And that is where we end with, holy crap, that was an episode of nonsense, and I love it. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone enjoyed. Thank you for coming along. Remember, if you want to, you can join us on Discord. There, do we have a Discord link? Damn it! I should get one of those Twitch bots to do this nonsense for me. Hang on, let me get the Discord link.
I know this is after show material, but like I'm really glad I got to talk more.
That was good. That was good. Yeah.
Anyway, so sorry, me being a derp. Here is the link if anyone wants to come along to our Discord to talk about the nonsense that is our show. And we have a Patreon at patreon.com/The Explorers League. And you can support us there if you feel we are deserving of your monies. And we also have a Twitter at League Explorers on Twitter, funnily enough. And we have a YouTube channel, The Explorers League on YouTube, where we upload the videos at some point after the show airs. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone enjoyed. And good night. Goodbye. Good day. Good evening. Au revoir.
Happy birthday.
I refuse to say that. Goodbye.
And we're
Ah.
saying bye.